All right. So we had an error last time in our game of war, and it's really simple and it's really stupid that I didn't catch it. So what's happening here is in this while loop, it is evaluating this and changing the list, and then it's evaluating this again. So it's not really playing it like it's supposed to every round. What it's supposed to do is do one or the other. And that can be accomplished by simply adding these two letters to the game. And now we'll see if we have the same problem. Because we were having this problem because, well, one, the game wasn't being played properly, and I should have noticed that earlier in the output. But also because, or something to note is down here where it's saying, we're checking if the list is empty. Basically, one of the lists was, the other one wasn't, and so it should have exited the game but didn't. So now we'll see what happens. Okay, this looks better. There's only one winner per round, and someone won the game. Oof, a lot of rounds. Very interesting. Now, what would be cool is to add some functionality to this, like I would like to add to see what cards we're comparing. So what we could do is, or we could display the list every time instead. We could just do that. That would be interesting instead. So we could do this. At the end of every round, we're going to display the lists. We're going to print player 1, print a little versus, and print player 2. Okay. So, all right. And then here we can see like what's happening in the actual game. So this will be fun. So we started out with these shuffled lists, and in round 1, player 1 won. And what happened was that we took the 10 and we took the 6 and we took their 6 and added it onto ours, and we took our 10, added it onto ours as well. We'll say we're player 1 for this example. Round 2, right here, we won again. And we just keep winning, which is kind of hilarious. But then player 2 won. So they took back. Player 2 took the 3. No. We should make this a little bit clearer. Hold on. So to make it clear, let's make the round like I don't know, just more obvious, and then yeah, let's do that. Just for my own readability. What? Oh, that'll do it. If you're not careful here. Okay. Also no. Okay. Whew! 35 rounds of war. That's why I don't like playing this game sometimes, because it's so long. I like this here at the end. You can see that the versus the empty list, and so they won. Note that we are printing who won the round before we're displaying their cards down here, and that's fine. So let's just go through round 32 to, well, it's no fun. Let's find a time where player 2 won something right down here. Okay, so in this round, player 1 won the round. What happened in the round is, well, from last time we can see that we won and took the 9 and the 8 from player 2. And in this round, what happened was player 2 took our 2 and their 3 and added it to the end. So the game is working properly, which is cool. Granted, we're not doing anything with laying down the whole actual war thing of having the same card and what to do in that situation. And that's not terribly complicated to code. It shouldn't be anyway. So let's give it a try. Let's revisit the rules of war really quick. All right. If the cards are the same rank, it is war. And I'm just going to make a function for this because I want to keep it organized. And I'm just going to write my function up on top here. It's not terribly important. The war function. I guess we can do lowercase. I don't know if I should name it the same thing as the application itself. We'll call it war initiate. All right. So in our function, what's going to happen is it'll initiate the war basically. So if the cards are the same rank, it's war. Each player turns up one card. This is weird. Face down, and one card face up. Player with the higher cards takes both piles, which has 6 cards. Oh, I see. So you have your original one, and then you have 2 more. So you're just getting an extra one. You know what? We're just going to not do the function, and we're just going to write it in the if statement because it can. So now, else if, blah, blah. What's going to happen is we're going to have a situation where they're the same, and we can just check it, I guess, on top here. We'll say this is another else if. Okay. What did I do? Did I just mess something up here? Because it's not. Oh no. What have I done? Is it still going to run? No. What? Oh, because there's no if. We're going to make an if. Don't worry. Okay. All right. So this is if player 1 first card is equivalent to player 2 first card. What happens? War happens. We'll even put a comment here saying this is the actual war happens. And we can even print war too. Why not? You know, you can see how many times it happens. But if they're the same, here's what we want to have happen. We're basically going to steal another one of their cards. So the cards that are already in question are going to be taken as well. But we are going to have another. Oh, this could happen for freaking ever, too. It's a pain in the butt. Depending upon how many times they're the same, how many times are we going to do this? I don't know. Perhaps that should be more of a loop functionality. See, this problem is not going to be super easy to solve. Already 8 minutes into this recording. Time really does fly when you're actually doing a project. I always tell myself I'll code for like an hour, and then it's like, no, it's way more than that. Because I want to fix it, though. Okay, so we've initiated war. And when war happens, the face down card doesn't necessarily matter. In this case, we're going to take another card, but we're basically just going to compare again. Let's do that first. So we're going to compare the next card. So then we're going to look for, if that's the case, then we're going to check if player 1 at position 1 is equivalent to player 2 at position 1. And it just kind of goes on like that, and this is kind of a really inelegant structure to do it, because what am I going to do? Just do like 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. for this? No, I don't think that's a good idea. there's a more elegant way to solve the problem. So instead of doing that, we'll find another way to solve it. But I'm going to leave that as a problem for another day and just celebrate the fact that we have this game working. But this is what we are going to work on next time. But before I even do that, I'm just going to do this really quick here. We're going to bulk comment. We're going to take out that. I'm going to make sure our game is still kind of playable. Holy shit. I've never seen this happen before, ever. Sorry for that, for feigned language here. This is, I think I might have broke it. Right? Like, there's no way that it's just playing this many rounds, right? Like, there's no way. I mean, I guess it's technically possible, but I'm pretty sure I did something wrong. Right? Like, I had to do something wrong. There's no way this is oh man, what a buggy program. It must have been when I changed something that something went wrong, right? No? I mean, it was looking fine before. All right, let's just stop it here. Maybe this just is happening. I mean, you could play War forever, right? 24,000 rounds of War later, and it's not done. Let's just run another one just to. Ooh, we're having some problems here. Okay, that one fine. That one fine. Fine. Once it starts going like this, it's like, then it goes for absolutely ever. I think it's because it's trapped in an endless loop. So I don't think there ever will be an end to it, and it's probably because of the way I design the program. Let's see. You know, conceivably, what could happen is that you just keep getting like a certain pattern of cards. Let's look at that. Around 28,000. Player 2 wins. All right, player 2 wins again. Then player 1 wins, and then when player 1 has the 10, they got the 10. How'd they get the 10? What happened here? Player 2 won this round, and player 1, let's see. You know, so it looks as though I don't think it would end. Well, what I'm noticing is that the 10 is consistently in player 1's hand. In fact, I don't think I've seen it leave player 1's hand. And that makes sense, right? Because in my shitty game, if you have the 10, I mean, you automatically win, right? Because you're never going to lose the 10. So you're just going to play and play and play and play. But you should eventually win, right? You should be able to win with 10. I would think, because you're going to always beat out everything else. So why we were getting down there? We've been down before. What happens in this case is that the 10 keeps going to the end, and I don't know. I mean, this just went on forever, and so I can't help but think that something is wrong. Hmm. You could play war forever, I think. Yes, could the card game war go on forever? I know there's a problem with my code. Don't worry. But war can continue endlessly. In particular, if the following hands are dealt and player one's cards are always added before player two's cards to the bottom of the stack, then the resulting game of war will never end. I think that it would end more often with more complicated cards like this, like if I actually fully implemented it. But that's interesting. Hmm. If player one's cards are always added before player two's to the bottom of the winner's stack, that's where an issue happens apparently. And we are kind of doing that. So there are some problems here, I feel like, and it might just be because I have a very limited, we're only using 1 through 10. That might be why we're having the problem with it going on endlessly sometimes. And it might be because of some other reason that I'm not seeing in the game's design. It seems to work, as intended, but it definitely goes on forever quite often. And I want to figure out why it goes on forever quite often. So we're just going to trace this. We print that player 2 wins, and then we do our operation. I feel like the way I lay this out should be structured differently, and that might help me think about it. So I don't know. I feel like at the end of the round, we should print who won as opposed to before it. Because right now we're comparing, and then we're printing, player 1 won the game. But then we're changing the structure of what happened, and then we're printing it out, what happened. I think we should print out that they won, and then look at it before we change it. So we can do that later as well. I think when you think about a problem for too long, it's good to take a break and come back to it. And I can feel it bothers me because I know my brain is a muscle, but it feels like, no, I'm just one coherent being with a singular will, and I should be able to think through anything just as fast as any other time, all the time. But right now, I'm not in the best way to think through it, so I'm going to come back to it. But we've made some progress, and I'm going to save this as War 1.0, and it's going to have some bugs, and that's fine. So let's go ahead and save this, and then we can work on the next edition. I don't think we can have a period in our names, can we? Let's just call it War 1. Yep, we'll say it's War version 1.0. Death has bugs. There we go. That is our game for now. So it does work. Just it has some problems.